morning, everybody, and welcome to the channel. So, concentric lathe lines, what are they? Aeroref.com does refer to it as lathe rings. Definition: these concentric rings are produced by a lathe which shapes the cone-shaped face of the unfinished working die. The cone is supposed to be polished smooth before hubbing. If polishing is omitted, inadequate, or the surface not completely polished, the surface will remain covered with concentric lathe marks, which will not be erased by subsequent hubbing. So, my understanding, when the cone shape is cut into the die material in preparation for hubbing, it's cut with a lathe, and this process leaves fine concentric lines down and around the cone, which are then polished off, or at least they're supposed to be. If this step's not done completely or missed altogether, these lines survive the hubbing process and will be on the die to be transferred to the finished coin. That does make sense in what little bit of gray matter I have left, until I stop to think that that cone itself, which is not huge, but it's, to me, looks to be, a quarter-inch high, that cone is completely obliterated when that die is made, when that die is pressed, it's gone. So is it possible for these rings to survive, to end up on our coins? Well, it makes sense. It makes sense that they're still there. We have them. I have found them. But is that? And you guys thought Sean yammered on forever. Anyway, I apologize, buddy. Let me know what you think. I am going to show a couple of the ones that I've found. 1990 Denver, Kennedy. Sorry, I've tickled myself. There, right behind his head, from the R in Liberty, Y, down through the In God We Trust, around the mint mark. See those little rings going all the way from the back of his head? Pretty much right out to the rim. Through In God We Trust, past the mint mark, or around the bottom of the bust. Up through In God, I gotta get the light better. Up through In God, past his nose, L-I in Liberty, right straight up into his forehead. So, they're on a $50 die. As you can see, they look pretty much the same from one coin to the next, one denomination to the next. This one is 1990 Denver, Kennedy, and of course, nothing on the reverse of this coin. That would be two completely different dies, obverse and reverse. So let's see what else we got here. I have been lucky enough to find all denominations except for a dime. I have a nickel somewhere. I hunted for days, haven't been able to come up with it. So I have found 3 of these: Oklahoma 2008, also Denver, I believe. Yes, Denver, pulled from circulation. So from the sunflower over to the top wing, see the lines coming through? Now, I did send pictures of these quarters to Lifecoin Q&A, probably a year or so ago, more, long time ago. I also sent them to Justin C. And there was some discussion at that time about whether or not these were from the lathe and the process of cutting that cone, or if that was a process of that cone being polished by the system that is supposed to take these lines away. See, on this one it's a little bit better around the front of his beak. from his breast down to the feathers. Let's see if I can zoom that just a little bit more so I don't have to hold. There you go. See it there from 1907 down to the back of his head, coming from underneath his head to the sunflowers, between the back of the feather to his tail, and then again from the sunflowers up to back of the wing. This one shows him pretty well. So the discussion is that in the process of polishing the lines off the cone, that process in itself leaves rings around the cone, and if you watch the linked video, it will show that process of how it goes through the 3 different band sanding process with the water and how they're supposed to be completely smoothed off. This is a 1996 Denver penny cent. Don't care which way you prefer to look at that. This is one of the definite confirmed, what they say, one of the ones that started it all, I guess, because if you look right from the LI and Liberty all the way up into God We Trust, just inside the rim, you can see it running from the bottom of his bust all the way up and over and out. So again, nothing on the reverse, 2 different dies. Let me know what you think. This one is listed. This particular one is listed. The 1990 $50 is listed. The nickel 2008 Denver is also, but of course I don't have, can't find it. Looked everywhere. So hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and let's talk about it.